Hello, and thank you for joining me tonight. I go by Lune, and this video is one that I was inspired to do today. I actually have a list of things, to check off, to record, but this one had to be moved to the front, and I'm dedicating, or calling this rather, a session for when you're in your feels. Now, personally, these retrogrades have got me all over the place energetically. I'm pretty good at maintaining a balance, so nothing where I've been completely uprooted, but I feel that, a lot of us right now are feeling a bit manic. A lot of us are being pushed and pulled, or, things are being really, really amazing. And then in the next moment, it's like, what the heck? Why is everything so stressful right now? And that can cause a real wear on our emotions. Tie into the fact that right now, while I'm recording this, it's July and we're in Cancerian season, which is fairly emotional, you could say, to put it mildly. It's fairly an emotional time for many of us. I'm a Cancer myself. I don't super identify with being incredibly over emotional. I'm an Aries moon, so we tend to be a bit logical in that factor, if I can put it that way. So for me, I wouldn't say I'm like in deep feels at the moment, although I certainly had them a bit, maybe a week or two ago. But I certainly right now am feeling very, very sensitive to light, to sound, to feelings, to glances, to being forced to interact with people. Not forced, but when I have to interact with people, like crowds, groups. Even my own kid is like kind of like, I feel like very drained by him right now. Like, is what I'm trying to say is, I want this Reiki session to support any of us who are going through just feeling sensitive. It's like maybe that leans into an emotional tie of being sensitive, or perhaps it's leaning to this like sensory overload and it's difficult to process things and you feel completely out of your element. So those are the feels, I call both of those the feels. And whether we feel depressed, or it's weepy or sad, or just like super highs and lows, or we just don't want to be around anybody and we have to, we're really guided to isolate ourselves during this time. I hope that this supports you. I hope that this is something you can use time and time again, whenever you feel this way, or you're feeling emotional, you're feeling like you're going through something. I've been trying to keep the intentions fairly open, or at least invite you to manipulate this in such a way that will work for you, because I'm not saying like, oh, here's a movie pass, but you can only see this movie, like this is a pass for you to go and kind of use it however you see fit, or like a gift card or something. It's not an Amazon gift card, it's a American Express gift card. I guess we'll say it like that. That's how I'm looking at this from an energetic perspective, so I hope that makes sense. And we'll just get started. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy. Alright, so we have this salt lamp here, or salt candle holder that came with a salt lamp. And we're going to dedicate this candle to our session to just add in the ability for this to reach you. My intention is, of course, for your highest and greatest good and perfect comfort and alignment with exactly you need at this moment. But to put a bit of a direction on it, we want to be able to calm down, stabilize, to work with the energy of what's going on now, to honor ourselves, to validate, to learn from our feelings and not just have them be, washing us all over the place, getting dragged away in the feels. Or if it's something that has come up that was like very, like a breakup, or the end of a friendship, or someone moving, or something that kind of causes us to feel sad. I hope that we can work with this as well for you. So my intention here is to include an element of just like super comfort, super friend energy, a hug, patting your head, something like that. I know it's like difficult for me to put into words at this moment. You'll have to bear with me. But what I'm trying to get at is it's just comfort. It's just like letting you know that it's okay to feel this way, helping you to validate, and knowing that, let's look at the greater picture here, perhaps. And we'll get into that as we keep going, of course. Or on the other side of the spectrum, if it's the type of maybe not being super emotional, but just being sensitive, just like the world is too much right now. Like my friends are too much, my family is too much. I just need to be in my shell. I just need to work through things, to honor that, of course, but to help you to get through it as well, because too much isolation, of course, kind of like we might drift too far the other way. So we want this to just be supportive of you guys as well, myself included here. All right. Trying out a bit of a I like the idea that I can throw my hand out to you, so I'm just trying to create some depth in this video, but we'll see how the others go. Just playing around in my new space. What's funny, I really like the sound of lighters, and I've been using a lot of matches. I don't know. I like that. Right. So I'm going to try to do some things that I've gotten, or rather incorporate some of the requests that I've been noticing pop up in my comments there. And one of them is a bit more tapping on crystals, so we are going to be doing that. I've also taken out a couple of card decks because I'd like to provide you with some type of guidance from this tarot and oracle deck. But just to give you some sounds, this is one of my early birthday gifts. It was a pack of Patchouli Incense, and how perfect. Patchouli is very good for what we're working on right now. This is Karma Scents 40 incense sticks. This is what it looks like on the inside. I kind of ripped it a little too open. Oh my god, they smell so good. I'm really a fan of like earthy, woody kind of smells, so patchouli is definitely a favorite. And it came with this like cute little incense holder, which is great because I actually need one in here. I have to get like one of those box kind so that I don't make a mess with the incense ashes. Okay. Like this. Okay. Just gonna wave this around you. was in the sun a little too much, I think, today. Which, too much for me is like 5 minutes. Just kidding, but kind of not. There we go. And let's move on to the cards, because I think that might be like the noisiest part, and then we'll move on to crystals and stuff. So this is a tarot deck I used to use all the time, and now I don't really use it that much, but I just used it a little today, and still a buddy. This isn't how I typically shuffle, so I'm usually pretty awkward when I do it this way. These are really pretty. Alright, so I'm just going to set an intention while I'm kind of shuffling these to provide some insight about what we can do when we're feeling this way, or where is this coming from, just something. I'm very open with this. What is the guidance? Where can we take this, or, should we sit with it? Is there anything from the cards that kind of comes in here? Okay. Oh, itchy. Alright, so I'm just going to cut the deck and pull from here. So I'm just going to pull like 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops, I guess I wanted 5. Alright. Okay, this is like super cheerful right here. It's the 3 of Swords reversed. And this is like, it's over. There was deceit, there was perhaps some kind of grievance, argument, disassociation from some people, whether that's our family or even qualities of ourselves. There might be something personally about us that we're cutting out, that we need to cut out, or that it is time, or it is done. So this is like, for me in reverse, this is a don't worry about it because it's already ended, but kind of like a reflection card. Okay, this might be a sign for if this is playing out, if you're thinking about those people, if you're thinking about co-workers, old friends, exes, getting a strong like family vibe here too. If you're thinking something like that and it's playing in you, like erase it from our mind. It's time to move on. So this might not resonate with all of you, but some of you are going to hear that message, and I hope it does indicate something to you and support you. Okay, then we've got the High Priestess in reverse. So this is for me imbalance. It's about being rocked off of our power, our ability to take something and turn it into something else. So this shows me that we're potentially emotionally imbalanced at this time, or out of alignment with what we're truly capable of when we feel this way. Okay, the Star. just a, like, there's perfection there. There is something perfect between what's going on. There is something, hope, a unique energy. You know, there's a lot of feminine energy in this card as well. So, I don't know, as beautiful as this card is, I keep thinking I want to talk about, like, release, and almost crying, even though this isn't a sad card at all. But it's emotions. Like, I'm seeing these 2 cups being poured out right here, and to me it looks like the release. So crying, honoring yourself, the goddess in you. And you know, I'm not trying to exclude men, but there, you know, men can work with goddess energy as well, just like women can work with god or warrior energy. I don't really play them into that type of gender, you know, but it's certainly the feminine aspects of us. So it's telling us to step into that and validate, release, clear it out, but in a place of beauty, not in a, oh, I can't, like, I can't deal, you know. It's not one of those. It's this is time for me. I'm gonna process this. It's gonna be beautiful, and I'm gonna do it in my way. Okay, oh, beautiful. Then we have the World, you know. Oh, so amazing. I love this one. I forgot about this card. I don't really get it that often, so it's always surprising when I do. But it's like the cosmic dance. It's creative, it's creating, it's resources, it's balance and harmony and completion and all of these things. So don't forget that that's there, you know, and there is beauty in the world. There is so much that goes on, and at this point, a lot of the times, or you know, what we might be experiencing is a portion of that. If we feel off balance like that, this will never go away. So tap into that, meditate on it. Kind of being guided to suggest you pull up some sounds of earth, like from space, audio tracks, and maybe meditate to something like that, just to remind yourself. Okay, and then we have Judgment in reverse. So this might, to me, indicate some shadow work for some of you guys. Judgment's like the awakening of the dead almost in this depiction. This is like very, I think Gregory Scott called it like Hollywood deck, and he's so right. I never saw it that way, and then I was like, oh yeah, it's like a bit dramatic, you could say. The release of shackles, the release of stand still. However, in reverse, we are standing still. You know, this is a time to stand still. Like, it's hope. There is release coming. There is rebirth coming. But right now we're stuck. So for me, this doesn't really tell me that much. But it is kind of that confirmation that, yes, this is where we are. Yes, we're feeling a bit, I don't want to say shackled. I feel like that's very disempowering, but I mean limited. Like, we try something and like we get bounced back, or we try to move in this direction, we're getting bounced back, and we're kind of like stuck in this place. And let's continue then to master this place, to build on this foundation of where we are, take the good from it. For example, me, I have a lot of projects coming out, like, that I'm working with other people specifically, so I'm even more being held even more accountable for them. But I keep trying and I just can't get there. So I'm just going back to planning, manifesting, meditating, and my foundation, which is these videos, which is my teaching, my practice, and things like that. So that's what it reminds me of anyway in this card pull. And then we're going to pull some of these goddess cards that my friend Mina gave me, who I really need to reach out to. I saw she emailed me, and that's like another thing that I'm really messing up on right now. Or not messing up on, but like I have to be careful because I'm not replying to people, and mostly friends, you know, because I'm so busy with clients. So I feel bad for anybody who wants to be my friend sometimes, because I just don't have time for people, and that's so harsh. I hope that doesn't sound cruel. It's just, I'm just in a place of laying the foundation, and I have to keep my directions going there. Alright, so I'm just shuffled again. So this is a goddess deck. It's super beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's actually not a full deck because I've given a couple cards away because they're just so beautiful. I think they make such a lovely like piece for your altar, or even to frame one of them. Maybe I'll do that too. But just looking for some kind of wisdom, like something to think about again for what's going on right now. And okay, so we're just gonna wiggle it. Okay, then just cut this deck. And we have, oh sorry, Gaia. So Earth, like Earth goddess. I'll read it to you though, because these have this really beautiful spots on the back, so maybe part of this will resonate with you. But Gaia existed before everything. She existed before time. Gaia, the eternal, prehistoric Earth Mother Goddess, is fertility incarnate, moist, mysterious, strong. She is life energy itself. Everything that lives, breathing or not, overflows with her life. She's the earth and all the powers of the earth. Gaia is not always a consoling goddess, standing for life and generation without thought of consequence. She has an energy and power that must be approached carefully. All bodies eventually return to her into the black fertile earth to be devoured and to receive her life again. Sorry, I should have read that better. To be devoured and to receive her life again. As goddess of the soul, Gaia reminds us that the soul develops in dark places. Here we go. I lost my place. And that ultimately, soul must be rooted in body and earth. She is a reminder that we must ground ourselves in the reality of nature and incorporate all sides of ourselves, be they pleasant or unpleasant, light or dark. So, what a beautiful card, right? And paired with the world that I never get, I definitely feel there's something of grounding clearly that we need, but also tapping into this powerhouse that we are part of and that we need to pay respect to, and acknowledging that, there is a law of rhythm. There is, even, in Hermeticism, what I'm referring to at this point, there is a law of rhythm. There's a push and pull, an ebb and flow. And it's going to get better and it's going to get worse. There are ways to overcome that, I will certainly say. I don't want to disempower you, but for the most part, it's okay. We pull back in the pendulum with the rubber band, the slingshot, however you want to see it, and we wait. Sometimes we're stuck. Sometimes there's the act of being brought back, backwards or in a standstill is not comfortable, but then we shoot off even further than we could have imagined, or in a different direction, or with some much more broader understanding of what we're getting ourselves into. So it's kind of want us to bring the energy to that, and just our minds to that, our conscious minds. Alright, so now we're going to move on to our stones. And I'll bring out the big one first. This is a piece of raw amber. I like the smell of amber. Especially these raw pieces have a scent to them, I would say. Not quite honey and not quite maple syrup, but resin. And you know, I can't tell you why I even brought this today. I was bringing some things into the office and this just really wanted to come, and now that we're getting all this world Gaia kind of energy, or you know, asking us to take a look at that, I'd say that this is a perfect not stone, but you know, kind of a stone, not really a stone, but resin for us to work with here. So we'll put that at the bottom of our grid here. Okay. Next, I'll show you a piece of rainbow moonstone, which is not actually moonstone, it's more like white labradorite, but it is a feldspar. So whenever you see like rainbow moonstone, it's not really moonstone. They're beautiful. This one has a pretty blue flash on the side, but it is difficult to find. Like I can see it now, but it doesn't give it up that easy. A little white stone. These are great nurturers, supportive, not as much as a true moonstone, I would say, but it is calming, absolutely, and helps us to connect to it's not like a buzzy one, like a, you know, high vibrational quartz, or like a Veracruz amethyst or something, but it does help us to work with it helps to bring the energy from the lower chakras, specifically the sacral, up like in to be processed. So that's kind of what I'm bringing it out for. And on the other hand, I do have this black moonstone. I love. It's stunning. Very difficult for me to show you. I'll put it on my Instagram actually. I started a like insights or whatever it's called folder for crystals, and I only put one in there, but I'm going to try to put ones that I mention in videos there in case you want to take a peek. Right, so this is very maternal, very protective and grounding as well. I love this one so much. It's stunning. It feels so good. Okay. This is a combination of different stones, and I'm forgetting which ones. I want to say epitote is in here, and maybe another type of jasper. I can't remember. This is actually gifted to me from Andre, who you guys might see comment often. He's very supportive. And he polished this himself. It's so smooth and nice, and this one has this like stunning little flash on it that you would like barely see, but it looks like a reflection, like when you shine light in a cat's eye or something. And this one just wanted to come for. It's very supportive. I feel like I want to say he got this from like a beach. I know he finds a lot on the beach, and just has like a nice stabilizing energy to it. It's a bit stormy, I would say, but in the sense that I don't know, it's difficult for me to put into words. There's a lot of really interesting markings that just kind of talk to you with this stone. I know that's odd, but those of you who have crystals and get lost in them, I'm sure you know what I mean. When I say stormy, it has like a stormy pattern, and I kind of associate those stones to like angelic realms. So maybe this would be one perhaps we could work with. Archangel Raphael, if you're open to it, who is, to simplify it, like a healer. They have a lot more qualities, obviously, but I'll just use simple words now. And then Uriel, perhaps, as well, which is the, like, let's get it done archangel. Have a bird's eye jasper from Monk and Moon. This is beautiful maroon and like raspberry kind of colored stone with these circular shapes of like lavender or a very soft indigo. It's really beautiful. And this I brought out for the bird's eye view, the vantage point. Let's step out of these fields and have like a look. Let's assess the situation. So that's why this one wanted to come out. Plus, it's very grounding. It's very supportive, nurturing. So it's a good one for stabilizing the sacral. And although we could say that, clearly the sacral is related to the emotional center, that's very well known, but it also relates to how we connect with other people. And I'm finding like a need to withdraw from other people, very much so. If you feel that way, that's the sacral as well. So maybe some of us have more of a left body, or even we could just put it a little more simply, and some of us might be over-energized in the sacral, and some of us might be under-energized. I might be under-energized. I want to withdraw. I want to pull back. I don't want to make a lot of connections right now. I'm just very need to be in my space, need to be keeping focused on things that are moving me forward and whatever. Whereas the more hyperactive sacral chakra areas or individuals might feel manic, might feel very emotional, very on eggshells with yourself even. So something to just think about there. I have this beautiful, another one from Andre actually, this beautiful kind of fire shape agate, maybe carnelian, like a carnelian agate, or even chalcedony. I don't know, it's stunning. It's really beautiful and very transparent, translucent. That's a really pretty shape. So all of these, really, all of them will work very well for the sacral and work well together, so that whether you're feeling like you need to withdraw, or you're feeling manic, or a combination of the two, which can certainly be. Let's channel that, or process it, or balance it, and just make it more comfortable for us. That's what we're trying to do with this session. And the last one is this rainbow fluorite that Glenn gave to me a long time ago. I want to say at least a year ago, maybe more. But it's a beautiful tower with 6 sides, has a lot of a lot of purple and yellow in it, which I love so much. Those are of my most favorite fluorites, but you know what? I love all fluorite. Okay, so we're just going to place this in the center of our grid. Okay. Alright, so we're all set up. We've got our grid going, incense, candle, all of that. We're ready to get started with the session. I'm just going to zoom you guys in a little bit because I feel like I can't reach you. So, there we go. And we're going to start with the Selenite Wand again. I hope you guys don't get sick of it, but I just love it so much, and I do use it in every session that I do, especially here when I have access to everything. Right, so I'm going to begin with this, and I'm going to set an intention just to connect with you now, even more personally. I hope that's alright. You don't have to accept by any means if you just want to watch the video, but if you're open to it, it's nice to bring yourself into a place of receptivity. I accept this Reiki session by proxy on behalf of my highest good. Right. So, just charging this. Sorry, I haven't been in here in a while, and I'm just want to really charge it up. Great. Okay, so just gonna move this a little bit. I'm gonna start over the crown, and kind of comb down your body, your arms, just really gently, and about this far away from I'm focusing about this far away from your physical body. Okay, so I'm going to start over the head, just like this. And what I love about these wands is that I can see them reaching the higher chakras that are above our head. Like tapping on them, waking them up, clearing them off. Okay, we're gonna go down your body, and again down, and down. Back now. Okay. The face. Just want to focus on the ears, actually. I want to clean up our senses, I think, with this. Okay, it's just super gentle, soothing, calming. If there's any staticky sensory stuff going on an auditory level for you is what I'm trying to focus on. Okay. Alright, I'll do the other side. This side of your face. Sorry. Jeez. This side of your face here. Right. Now the eye area. It's like as if there was like allergies there or something. Something irritation, rather. Sorry, the floor is creaky and I haven't memorized the more intense spots yet. A little more balancing here. Helping us to see from that clear perspective, helping us to read and know what's going on. Read the situation, read the emotions, read between the lines if we have to. But just like a clarity. And it might be odd, but I'm going to focus on like I'm not going to go in your mouth obviously, but just like in the mouth, the jaw kind of area, and just like work on that sensory area too. This might help us to watch what we say, or speak up if we must on that capacity as well. It's almost like it's at the back of the throat. Okay. And then the nose. Just kind of like swirling around in there. Okay. I'm actually going to go right to your palms. Just like rub this in the palms. The other. Go over your fingertips. Okay, go back to this cleansing. Shoulders, down your arms. This one. Okay, over the chest, down. We're going to spend a little time at the sacral area and just again balance there. Just to get it started. Okay. And we're going to make sure that the Earth Star chakra actually, so I'm just focusing below your feet, accessing the Earth Star chakra, cleansing just that vortex for you. allowing it to, even when we just bring our awareness to the Earth Star, it seems to increase in power. And I guess, we could say that for all the chakras, but I really feel that way with this one, or it's like noticeable for me. I see it like a round, mini pointed kind of star looking thing, but like many points, like 100 or something, I don't know. And it can go through everything, like like through the rock, through the minerals, through the everything, just through the earth, like crunchy. I usually see this chakra as black with like a gold sheen to it, like a gold sheen obsidian. Okay, and then I'm just gonna connect the sacral and earth star, going right through the root, so it's kind of like crossing the cross part through the figure 8 if that makes sense. It's through the root. Okay. Alright, now moving on to the more energy sending, going into the chakras, going into your energetic system, and not specifically working just in the aura and like outer perimeter as we had been for the most part. Alright. So again, just on behalf of your highest and greatest good, in perfect comfort and alignment for what is right for you, this session is to help balance our emotions, balance how we're feeling, to bring us to a point of stability, clarity, perspective, to validate what might be going on, but allow it to go, not hold on to it, not cling on to it, to use discernment. If we need time alone, then yeah, like let's do that. If we know we're kind of pushing it a bit too far, if we're withdrawing too much, if our commitments are constantly being jeopardized, if our goals are not being met, now please go easy on yourself. This is not a power through it kind of thing, but let's let this energy help us, bring us to a place where we can get through it, where we can muster the energy to go and do those things, or to put the energy into this or that project, or whatever it is specific to your life. Those are just the terms that I'm using, so hope you can add to them as you see fit. So just gonna like do one of these kind of gentle, like shoo, to you. Just playing at the crown, balancing our connection with our higher self, the third eye. If we're replaying something, if there's something in our mind that we know has ended, but it's still like playing over us, like that 3 of Swords, just let it go. It's over. It's time to just validate that, mourn it if you must, but let it go. Okay. The throat. How are we talking to ourselves? How are we expressing? We want to balance this area. To assert ourselves or tone it down. Like, I'm not dictating high or low here. I am asking for the highest intelligence to work with you specifically, individually. Heart, of knowing yourself and what you truly want, what your heart's calling is. Non-judgment. Stop critiquing, over-critiquing. This isn't a time for that, okay? Tap into this place. I'm just going to actually focus on my heart for a second, which I have felt is very, very good recently, and usually, but I just kind of have this like direct channel going to you, to your heart. Healthy boundaries and being able to do something selfless when you feel like it, but also to insert or enact a sense of self and put yourself first in other cases. Okay. Solar plexus, our identity. We might, okay. I'm feeling like a lull here for some of you. Some of you are not feeling very confident. Some of you are beating yourself up. Some of you feel like you want to start over on something, but in a way like scrapping something and like giving up a little, and it's self-development. And I don't think that those thoughts and feelings are deeply rooted and that that's something you're planning to do, but it's that kind of like, what's the point? Like that kind of feeling. So again, just connect the heart again to the solar and just make sure that those are in harmony together. Just going to generate a little extra warmth for you for the solar here. Okay, just put my hand there. Okay, this might have something to do also with the Mars retrograde. It is an element of action. So of course we're feeling frustrated if we aren't able to have that, tap into that element of action. So that may be part of it. Alright, the sacral. Just focusing to balance. Bringing it up to the solar and heart and throat. Let's do something. Let's plan. Let's create. Know that things are coming for you. You definitely, I'm saying you definitely, but obviously this won't be for everyone, but I really feel a strong case of a major shift, major taking on something very new and big that will really be like a part of your life. Like, oh, like this is a new thing in my life, For some of you that might be adopting a pet. For some of you that may be, starting to write a book. Like it could be anything, but it's gonna be life changing. Your day to day will change. So why I'm connecting them to the solar heart and throat is to get those plans going, but don't worry about the action just yet. Use the action in the softer side, like the planning again, or writing about it, manifesting it, doing a ritual, candle ritual or something. So you're sending energy to this goal, to this ideal or whatever you're working on. But it doesn't have to be, it's okay if you have to chill, Like if you're on a wait list for a dog or something, like it's coming, just chill, it's okay. Just keep thinking about it in good ways, not in fear-based ways. So while we're here, we're gonna work on the hips, just like breaking up this area because I'm feeling frustration And that comes from fear, you know, as the most simplest way we can put it. It comes from fear. Okay, just brush it down your legs, just get this flowing. Pulling up from the Earth Star, up your legs, and down again. Just want to focus on the roots. And again, I'm just kind of guided to add a little warmth here, although it's super hot where I am. I'm probably a mess right now, but just need something here. Okay, so I'm just going to put my hands on your outer hips. Focusing on your root. Your sense of security, stability, safety, all of that. If you feel there's something you can't quite connect to, tap into the crown for that trust. Tap into the earth for that support and those resources. If you think the worst, you know, it doesn't help. So let's. Alright. Going down again to the Earth Star and back up, up, all through. And again. And up your head and then out your arms. Okay. Alright, is there anything else I want to work with? I think we're okay. Alright, so we're just gonna fluff up your aura now. Right, I'm just gonna smooth it down, make it comfortable, and up, down, and up. Just pulling it in a bit now. Alright, well, I hope that you enjoyed this session. Hope that I'm in focus. Sorry if I'm not. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for your support, your love, your everything, your comments, and just everything. I'm so, so grateful. Special thanks, of course, to all of you who kind of go the extra mile and are supporting me on a, whether it's through Tingles or Patreon, or you've sent me contributions, you've sent me gifts, took classes with me, let me be the honor to, attune you to Reiki. I'm so very grateful for those experiences. I'm teaching a class in Staten Island on July 22nd, a Reiki 1 class, but I teach Reiki 1 all the time through distance, all of the Reikis at this point, so all of the levels, I mean. So if you're interested, and I think that's all I had to say. I'm sending you so much love and soothing energy and support. We're going to get through this time. Honor yourself, validate what you need to, and just know this will pass, this chaos will pass, and it's okay. And, just that. From the bottom of my heart, as always, namaste.